Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Esports Indiana's coverage of High School League of Legends. It's spring season, cumulative records bashing heads here for a best of two. Welcome in, everybody. My name's Llama77, joined by the handsome as ever Orbital. Orbital, how you doing tonight? Are you excited for some League of Legends?
I am very excited to be here, excited to get underway. We've been watching a lot of different games across the last few weeks, and so to actually touch on League of Legends now, to see what the league has to offer, I'm very excited to see.
Yeah, and a little bit of a different format than some of the competitive. Instead of that best of three, instead of a super long series, we get a best of two. So there are ties as a possibility. There are also sweeps to earn yourself some extra seeding points. For Ben Davis, we got some background information that you might see that record and say 0-1. Okay, why don't they have some extra games? Well, they actually expanded their PC room and now have enough PCs to play League of Legends. So a great opportunity for these kids.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they can throw down. I mean, listen, hopping into the middle of the season is always a little bit rough, The fact that you're able to do it, though, makes me very excited. You start entering into a different area, and for them, that does mean an uphill challenge. Some of the other leagues and some of the other teams that have been playing for a little bit longer mean that they have a little bit more experience. So depending if they brought players in that have been playing League or are maybe a little bit more fresh to League of Legends, that will be the big question here in today's match.
I mean, they've got some pretty high up there ranked players, so it'd be interesting to watch how they come into this league, how they perform as well, not necessarily in just their solo queue experience, but also into a full 5-player team experience. And they'll be facing off against William Henry Harrison High School, who is 3-6 at this moment, but you mentioned that experience. They have 9 games under their belt as a total. That is just a ton of pliable experience that they take into this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, even though they're on the lower end, keep in mind that this is all more or less practice. Everyone doesn't make it into the playoff side. It's all about where do you stand in the playoffs. And a lot of people have noted that even though you make it to the playoffs, it doesn't mean you get to play more than just one match. A lot of the teams that we've seen, it is a very low percentage output that a 16th seed can beat out a first seed whenever it comes to a matchup. So even though you can make it into the playoffs, yeah, you get to play in the postseason. But that's step number 1. You want to get to step number 2, which is beat your opponent, which if you're going up against the first seed, it's hard. So every win will count.
Every win, every moment helps move you up even further and further. And even that game differential, even if you can't take the sweep of a series, getting that 1-1 definitely does help. But I mean, talk about supporting esports and all of what these kids have wouldn't be possible without Zotac. We've got to give them a huge shout out for supporting gaming here with Scholastic Esports in Indiana. You guys can show your appreciation for Zotac by giving them support on social media with an easy shout out. It's free and it's for you at home. You can join their community on Discord. You can also use hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you post to thank them.
Very, very kind of them to go ahead and give us the opportunity to kind of be here and be able to cover a lot of these matches. Obviously, we only see a couple of the games throughout the season. I mean, there are so many games played on the back end, and hopefully in the future we can give a show for almost all of them. We would love to be able to give every single day if possible. I understand that may not always be feasible, but the opportunity always arises, so we want to give a big shout out to Zotac for sure.
I mean, definitely giving the support, and obviously you talk about all those different titles we've got here at Esports Indiana. If you're watching at home and you're interested in League of Legends but also interested in what else we have to cover, make sure you follow here, turn on those notifications for every single time we go live. You'll see that clicker rotating down below. That's how many game titles we have during a current week. And Orbital, enough time waiting. It is time to get ourselves into the pick ban.
Yeah, we'll take a look at how this goes. Again, for those that may not be as experienced with League of Legends, I don't think we've shown it on the Indiana Esports Network that much. The phase is divided into a few different parts. Number 1 is a 5v5 player squad, so it's 5 players against 5 players, and they go through a draft system. There are over 140 champions to choose from that all the players will go ahead and decide which champions they want to play. There is a ban phase with 5 champions that you can deny away from the game itself. They cannot be picked. They are essentially benched, and then you select 5. The ban phases are broken down into separate parts. So there are 3 bans at the beginning for either side. That is a total of 6 champions banned out. And then you pick 3 for either side. That is a total of 6 champions banned, 6 champions picked, 3 on either end. Then you rotate to the second ban phase after the first pick phase, which is 2 bans apiece on either side, and then it continues onwards. If all that doesn't make sense, don't worry. You'll see it lay out in front of your very eyes here shortly. Just keep it in mind as we go through and you see all these weird characters pop up on your screen.
Yeah, I love the ban phase, and also one of the special things about it is because of the format we're playing, there's no duplicate style champion. So if you've watched Overwatch or some other different titles before, you can have matching, mirroring things on each side. In League of Legends, you cannot. So if somebody picks it, well, the other team can't pick it. So that goes into the strategy of everything. Do you target your bans towards one player specifically, something generally, and then, towards your picks? Are you picking something that you're just really, really good at, or maybe your opponent is very, very good at and you're maybe a little bit okay at?
Yeah, and there's always champions that always feel like they're on the rise in what we call the meta. These champions that even if you're not really good at them, you can just overpower your opponent on. There are some that are very, very staple to the current playstyle, and some of the players here I know for a fact are going to be really, really good about that, learning how to play some of these champions and learning how to apply them. Every single rotation and every single what we call patch day brings around a different set of champions that are going to be stronger and stronger, or maybe weaker and weaker, as the game is constantly refined by the devs. So that's what we're kind of watching for. We are still waiting, I think, on when they're actually going to get through this. Normally we start seeing some of the champions roll through by now, but maybe they're taking their extra time just to make sure they're going to be good to go.
Yeah, making sure that these teams are got their full selection, their coaching staff behind them, and of course them as players as well, ready to get in towards that pick and ban. So as we get on the edge of starting that as well, you talk about some of those changes, obviously going here into this new 2026 season. Last season, there was a big thing called lane swaps, where your bottom lane would go up to top lane, and they would just kind of do a little flip-flop. This time around, they've added quests into League of Legends where, it makes you preferred to stay in your lane, which I think, is pretty exciting to see not only how the players engage in that and how the players disengage from not doing those lane swaps that were all active last year.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. If you've seen League in the last, I would say 2 to 3 years, you've actually seen some of the quests actually come into play. Jungle had a quest where you had to take, I believe, 40 camps, and then you get upgraded abilities in there. For supports, it was an upgraded item in their own tune. So there are certain things in there that can cause a little bit of a shift. So now it's expanded mid lane. It's more based on how much damage you do to the opponent. You get upgraded boots in the top side. You get extra XP and all that on the bot side. For ADC, it's a lot more gold. So all these things do come into... It's basically an extra boon to work with here. We are waiting to see as we get into the draft side of things here. And I think William Henry actually ended up forgetting to ban out in the early stage. So unfortunately, they lost out on that first ban. For Ben Davis, though, they take out the Fiddlesticks, a really good all-around jungle champion that is very annoying to deal with if they get ahead.
Yeah, and especially, there are annoying jungle champions, and Fiddlesticks is definitely one of them. Just being able, I think of Nocturne, Fiddlesticks, just two of the basic ones that limit your overall vision of the game, limit your ability to play around it. So I don't hate that. And, maybe for WHH, they also could have just skipped the ban. Maybe they don't want to ban away anything and don't want to really restrict their own pool, but I could also see that they just missed it as well. So Ben Davis getting into their second ban now as the Fiddlesticks fully locked in and the first jungle champion taken off the board.
Yep, slowly kind of chipping away at those, and it looks like they are taking a little bit of time. I wonder if William Henry are just really, really confident. That is another thing that you like to do. You like to play a little mind game. You like to be annoying against the opponent, which is 100% fair if that's what William Henry like to do. You basically say, we're not worried about anything, and we also want all the champions available to us. There is something to be said. No team has really done this, but there are champions where you don't really want to ban away because you want to take it for yourself. It's essentially, if you watch The Incredibles, it's the when everyone's super, no one is, you get to play that card. But it's the Cassiopeia on the other side for Ben Davis, very targeted. A lot of these AEP scalers heading into that jungle mid, both banned away.
Yeah, the cast is a good one. I think at least this one. We are getting word that the might need to restart the pick and ban just because of that missed pick and ban. So we'll go back to just our beautiful faces here for a second. But kind of break down again just the little bit of what we saw that cast, even though it's more of a neutral meta pick, like you talked about with the Petrify, it does take a bit of skill to pilot, so taking it off the board is pretty interesting in targeting that specific champion map pool.
Yeah, Petrifying Gaze is one of the strongest and last remaining, I think, full AoE CC abilities in the game. There are quite a few, don't get me wrong, but this one is one of the easier ones to land. It's an AoE cone. It just lands in front, and you are very, very annoyed if you get hit by the thing. It was a lot of CC ability for the Cassiopeia. Same with the Fiddlesticks, though. The Crow Storm, one of the oldest in the game that can essentially fear everyone, do AoE damage, and control the entire battlefield. These are all champions that revolve around pressing R, gaining an advantage into the game. So I can recognize where Ben Davis are kind of focused, saying, we don't want to allow these easy CC buttons, and I will say it's a right call from them. I will always say that CC wins games. If you want to win a game and you're not exceptionally happy about how mechanically inclined you are, go for the CC abilities, go for these easy, what we call the wombo combos, and take a win there.
And, champions that even if they don't scale well, they still have that ultimate button no matter what going into those team fights. But really good points. We are going to get ourselves back to a short break here real quick as we set up the pick and bans for map number 1. Don't go too far. IHSEN will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Still here at IHSEN for our high school coverage of League of Legends. I'm a 77 and Orbital still here up in the booth. And Orbital, we've got our full draft selection now. We've got teams banning, and Cassante is actually going to be the first selection off the board.
Yep, William Henry Harrison sending it with a lot more aggressive bans. This feels a lot more in line with what we were understanding. The Cassante and the Udyr. Udyr is a piloting champion of one of the junglers on the side of Ben Davis. We were scouting out a little bit ahead, and they said, hey, that's a champion that we don't want to deal with. These are all very tanky bruisers as well so far, so eliminating a lot of that HP value in there. And I'm guessing that was the Cassiopeia from last time as well. At least that's what I would understand. So go ahead, ban out something simple, and make sure you're good to go there.
Yeah, make sure everything that is good for your opponents is off the board early. And, as we go from game number 1 to game number 2 as well, it's going to be exciting to watch how these bans, how these picks do change. What works in game number 1 might get a higher priority of a ban than something you say, okay, theoretically they're good at. But yeah, you talk about that Udyr taken off the board for JZ. They are that's one of their highest played champions in solo queue. It's what got them to platinum, diamond in the previous season. So a great take off the board there.
Yep. It looks like that's Sona as well. All of this, it feels very targeted in there. And an immediate Mordekaiser pickup here. This is actually a little bit surprising. I think Mordekaiser, it's not a great blind pick, but if you're very confident in that top side, it can be a bulldozer of a champion. One of the best in terms of 1v1 power. If you take over in the 1v1, you can always ensure that there's a 1v1. With the brand to cover, though, this brings a lot more AoE and slowing potential. If this is a brand support, you're looking at a rallies buildup. You're looking at a lot more utility AP damage in there.
Yeah, I mean, it could kind of go multiple places. We've seen the brand flexed over towards the jungle, which is more common, it feels like, nowadays, but it does have multiple lanes it can play. You also look at the Mordekaiser. You saying, again, picking it early, it does have a lot of available counters. So picking second is the Echo, which is the second most played champion from JSay from their jungle setup.
I like it. You go ahead and bring in this kind of aggressive style of combo play. It's not really sustained damage though for Ben Davis. So if for William Henry you can actually get a lot more beef in there, you could theoretically out out sustain in a lot of these battles if you have the HP values and all. So you could out sustain a lot of the burst damage and be able to get away with these shock values. Running in with a Twitch as well, though, is extremely aggressive. I haven't seen a good Twitch in a while, and I hope that for HHS they can do so.
Yeah, and right now they've got a lot of frontline and a lot of burst damage from that Twitch, but Twitch is also very, very squishy. So being able to have the tools to protect your Twitch, just because Mordekaiser brings somebody into the Death Realm, doesn't mean it necessarily takes them out of the fight. It just takes your frontliner out of the fight. So Trundle on the other side, a bunch of frontline here for BD. They're going to work, especially off of that possible jungle matchup and possibly putting it other places. And you've got that pillar, one of its biggest tools, especially in a team fight.
Yep, we're not sure what that ban is, but we should get a little bit of info here in a little bit. And starting it off strong, though, that Trundle, it can deny a lot of what HHS want to do. One of the big things to me is, hey, you're a little bit worried about the fact that, you know, a Volibear or a Mordekaiser can kind of run at you. That pillar is a great slowing ability. It's an ASOL to ban, so targeted at that mid lane. I like that call. You get a lot of the AoE out. And for HHS, they get a last second ban in here. I'm curious what it is.
Looks like it's going to be the Ashe and then countered with the Lux. So back to back there, kind of different picks there. The Ashe, it's got the arrow. It's one of the strongest in the meta. You can scale up in team fights. You have the ability to hit that, again, the arrow, which charges up very, very quickly. So some support targetization, some very scaling targetization with that ASOL, and then Caitlyn going to be the last thing off the board. So HHS really targeting specifically that AD carry pool, trying to avoid anything that they think BD will play.
Yeah, and then picking up that Misfortune, looking for a type of Wombo style here. I don't dislike it. You don't have a lot of setup for this Misfortune, which is very reliant on an ult impact, but it's not a bad one to grab. The Morgana at the end, though, this is, again, a very standard style. If you have a carry like this, you go ahead and grab the Morgana and you give them the Black Shield and they can get away from any CC abilities. The Vigar at the end, though, is a bit of a surprise. You're expecting them to rush in. I don't disagree. That's a brand mid as well. Okay, so Wombo versus Singular kind of walk over them. This is an interesting comp on either side.
I think it's going to be really interesting, but because it's going to come down to Jace and see if what they can do from the Echo jungle position. Because honestly, I'm a hater of Misfortune. I don't know. It feels like every time that ultimate misses, like you lose your entire team fight. And when you don't have a setup CC ultimate to back it up, like you mentioned, it can be so hard to set up. That being said, I mean, they've got a ton of damage. They've got the front line through Braum. They've got the Trundle for those team fights. So if they can land those wraparound pillars, I mean, it can change everything. But I mean, the problem is there's going to be some sneaky looks on the other side too. If you look at this Mordekaiser and Twitch combo, they can hide in the shadows and pull you into the Death Realm and then just burst you down with that Twitch on the outside.
Yeah, this is actually a very scary notion if you do grab someone like the Brand, if you grab someone like the Trundle, or like you were calling, grab that front line. Make sure to grab that Braum, and they're already gone from the battle, and all of a sudden that Twitch can rip through them. My eyes are still drawn to the fact that they are going to have to play in the shadows there. So for me, for here at the IEN, I am going to be watching how they individually perform in the lanes. I want to see all these players be able to step up, make sure to CS properly, get a lot of those minion kills, get those stacks going in there, and get that gold generation moving as quickly as possible. That is one of the big things for me, at least, especially when looking at that Vigar at the very end. It's a big stacking champion, infinite potential, and how much ability power you can get if you're farming appropriately.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you go down to the base fundamentals. That's what a lot of these players are still just trying to build structure on top of each other. And although when you talk about the overall compositions for Ben Davis, this is only their second match in IEN because they, again, just got that brand new esports lab upgrade, finally able to play both Marvel Rivals and League of Legends at the exact same time. So happy for them. But for HHS, I think like their composition a little bit better, especially if they can get those earlier picks, if they can get that early CS advantage, especially through the Vigar. And I'm honestly excited to see this Volibear. I feel like it's such an underrated pick that can come in, can turn off those towers, can get really good dives that can then activate the damage of the Twitch and the Vigar.
Yeah, the only downside to a Volibear generally is the clear speed. However, the clear speed is actually pretty dang good. And so it's if you can clear fast, if you can clear faster than this Echo, then you're good to go. It looks like we do have the spectator delay, so we're gonna take another 2.5 minutes in. And so give ourselves a little bit more time to talk about this. The Volibear is gonna be good, and namely though I am gonna be looking on the other side. If this Echo can shut down the Volibear, then I'm going to have a lot of questions, right? If there are going to be problems on that end of, hey, the Volibear is going to run us down, it's up to the Echo to actually punish in the early game, track where the Volibear is going, and then make sure the Volibear can't actually play the game. You were talking about shutting down the towers. Well, if the Echo gets solo kills and they start punishing the enemy jungler, all of a sudden there's no Volibear to worry about.
And it's interesting, you talk about the ideal way to shut down this Volibear is through vision. And I think one of the best tools that they do have is, again, they've got the Braum to help them search through some of these jungles with that extra shield in front of them. You've got the Trundle, who is very, very tanky, and in skirmishes where he's looking to just take vision, he can drop a ward and then drop the pillar behind him and escape for absolutely free. So you have a lot of tools to go forward to take vision, and that's why it's going to be interesting to see who gets priority on some of these early neutral objectives as well. For especially the dragon stacking, you look at a lot of tools, especially for BD, to hold you inside a pit. If you get stuck inside a Drake pit with a Trundle pillar on your head and a Misfortune ult straight over the top, you are just going to be dead and dusted. So really critical is those team fights for HHS. They need to snowball it off of those early solo performances, but at the same time, they do have a lot of frontline and a lot of sneakiness.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we are looking at HHS and they're able to kind of push their way into a battle. But I do like what you said. The ability for BD to be able to kind of corral the opponent, not just in Dragon Pit, but Baron Pit, and even in an open lane, you can do this. The cross section that can come from a Braum Glacial Fissure into a pillar, into a Misfortune ult. And not only that, the bounce with the Pyroclasm from the brand, these are all abilities that have a lot of great utility when everyone is bottlenecked. And you look on the other side, it's a lot of bottlenecking. Twitch is going to be standing in one place. The Vigar will probably be in the same. There's not that many members that are going to be moving in two different directions. So I want to see BD be able to pull off a team fight. And in that same sentence, I want to see the side of HHS. I want to see them be able to keep the carries alive, whether it's the Vigar getting ahead or the Twitch getting ahead. I want to see that Black Shield on the right character that is going to stay alive and carry the team to victory.
And I'm honestly excited to see, how this Twitch plays, because it feels like a lesser piece in the meta, because Twitch is so squishy. If he doesn't have the tools like that Black Shield to keep himself alive, can be easily exploitable, especially in a bot lane 2v2. But that bot lane 2v2 could honestly decide a lot, depending on when Braum uses his shield, when that Black Shield comes up, and how much damage can the Morgana get on top of everything Twitch is able to do, along with those different bush plays. That is going to be exciting. It's a best of two, and we are in to map number 1, loaded in.
Getting in there as soon as possible. I like it. I like it. I like it. We got I Hate Cho'Gath in the top side. Very fun name. Mango Friend in the jungle. Ice King in the mid. Doctor in that ADC position. And then Toast Stolen on the Morgana for the side of HHS.
Nothing but dirt on my shoulder.
Interesting to see the names, and me above all in that top lane position running the Trundle. We've got the Echo on Jakesay on jungle. We've got Pokemon Geek in the mid lane running the brand. Mimi on the Misfortune down in the bot lane 80 carry, and Pocoyo on the Braum.
Like it. You go ahead and see if this is going to be a little bit of a treat. You can already see that no potions are necessary inside of the jungle. Now a lot of the damage has actually been taken off of those camps. So it's more about just farming as quick as possible. Blue buff start from Mango Friend on this Volibear. I think that's a little bit non-standard. I do believe you usually start on the red buff and get the auto attack damage down, but is going to work in your favor either way. You try and clear as fast as possible. For Joey, though, on that Echo, starting off the Raptors, trying to clear it as soon as possible. I like.
And honestly, it's going to be pretty exciting to see this Echo. Again, we talked about Joey, what they've been able to do in the ranked side, not on the high school side. On this Echo, lots of success, and that ability to fight, that ability to brawl, like you mentioned, is going to be ever important. Getting these early laning phase, though, again, I'm really focused on that bot and that mid. Who wins out? Who gets that CS duels as well? And, you know, especially down here in this bot lane, who hits level 2 first?
Yeah, taking their time and making sure they have the HP bars available, but so far it is going to be even CS between the two. I like that quick first strike coming out of Mir. First strike is a very silly one. I don't think it's very standard on a Misfortune either, but it does get the damage. If you're good with the first strike, you can get a lot of extra damage down, and does amp up damage on the first target you strike. So see if it works. That is going to be a nice one going into that fight, though. But Shogat saying, hey, I get first blood. What a wallop to the back of the head.
And that is just beautiful. Nice little takedown of first blood as well. You get it, especially in that top lane Mordekaiser. Now, it was flash for flash, so you do get those even duels. It's a possible reduel coming from Joey if they can rotate back up to that top side and find themselves into a retake position. But boy, me above all is going to lose so much, not only in the CS fashion, but also dropping that first kill makes you a lot weaker. You have to go back, you have to buy now, and eventually, when that Mordekaiser goes back to buy, he's going to be much more powerful.
Yep, it's a scary thought, and I'm curious to see what they do offer to buy first. You can already see that you can aim for a little bit more aggressive. I also love that both top laners opted for that Ignite. It's a very aggressive stance. You get the free TP anyway, so you're not too worried about that one. But the fact that you're opting... hold up.
I'm going to root there on Mick, and it is a possible jungle look from Joey to try and wrap this around. Trying to play just close enough that they get the jungler in time. Another root lands as well. Mir has to be careful. By the time this is gone, the Twitch is the further one up. Can they catch the Doctor is the question. Joey's in the backside. Finding the early damage on My Toast is Stolen. They will get the flash out of the AD carry and the second summoner spell as well, but they just don't have the damage. And if Joey overextends here, could cost them their life. Mir trying to go, another good root, and guess who's here? It's the Volley Bear, ready to slice and dice with the Bear Claws. Flashes in, and Joey, just one more auto attack will do him in, but under the tower, the Bear doesn't have enough.
Very, very close to everyone dying, but a nice sidestep away from HHS. And Ben Davis able to keep themselves safe. That was very dangerous on either end. Mango Friend being able to join on in and get a little extra help in there. Keeps Doctor as well as still Stolen back at that bot side. And a huge part for them is they have a massive wave. They can push that underneath the tower. It can go to waste so that the Misfortune isn't able to get anything. I would say a pretty decent win for the side of William Henry.
You look at the gold lead already, it's about 500. Mainly that just being from that first kill coming up from the Mordekaiser. But all that was going on, again, a redirection from the Volley Bear. He's going to start clearing toward his top side again. There's a lot of wards. There's a double red ward line down through that top side river. So a lot of vision control right now for Ben Davis.
Yep. For Ben Davis, it'll also take a little bit more time for them to amp up that Echo. Still waiting to get their right opportunity. Had to recall on that one, so they're a little bit further behind the curve. I don't know what they're going for. It might be a Nash's Tooth, but wait and see. Mid lane, good damage coming out of Pokemon Gate.
I like that they've chunked Doctor a little bit low, so the one big thing is off of that previous jungle engage on this bottom side, Doctor does not have their flash, but neither does Mir Me. So as we get into these later phases, it's a punish up top here. Joey's going to try and come in, but they are only level 4, and the Mordekaiser is level 6. Me above all, not level 6 either. But that big damage, just a big thumbs up. They walk away from the Death Realm. Now they're going to try and burst it down. Mango Friend is here. Shield is nice. Me above all taking extra damage, but they'll get the kill on back. And now Mango Friend has to deal a 2v1 without the health bar to pop it. No level 6, double kill for the Trundle.
Well done for Me above all. one for all at that point, or all for one, I don't know. But that is a huge win back. We talked about how Cho'Gath was able to get a win earlier in the 1v1. Well, Me Above All just got a huge boost in the econ, and that subjugation, that ultimate that steals your stats, steals your attack damage, your HP, your armor, your magic resist, it's not going to be good for the Mordekaiser if you are not careful. Really big win by the Trundle.
Huge overall, and that also puts them right back into a success point. You look at the CS advantage that they've built up too. 15 CS advantage, now has the 2 kills, and we'll have to escape for the Trundle. Not much on the mana bar left to go, so we'll escape. We haven't really focused on mid lane at all. They've kind of just been slapping each other with the early magic damage that they built up. Right now, a single level lead for Pokemon Geek over their counterparts.
And, I mean, you're not really worried about that one. I think for Pokemon Geek, you're actually pretty happy because you look at the creep score right there, 55 versus 34. You have a lot more gold in your pocket, so you're building up into that Archangel, which will be Seraphs at the end of the day. It's a huge win. Same for the top side. So really, you're doing okay for yourself. Dragon now being taken by the side of Ben Davis. They're trying to collect as much as they can in a lot of these parts. The longer they play this game, the better it's going to feel in terms of just outright damage control.
In terms of CS control as well, I mean, we talked about that top lane CS gap, but also almost everywhere else, they've got a pretty big CS advantage. And you know, that level advantage, nice from Doctor from this bottom lane skirmish. Hits level 6 first, so has the spray and pray just in case anything goes too wild. They haven't really gotten back to buy since the beginning of that game, only just that single little dagger in their inventory.
It always feels bad when you see like a single item in there. You're just like, hi, this is all I have. This is great. It's just a weird one. I also want to say, I just realized Me Above All bought a refillable and the longsword. I think that's what they started with. So that was a very interesting choice. Topside though, Cho'Gath getting jumped on.
So he's back, ready to go. Me Above All trying to force them down, and already the ward is down. They've got the minions to help defend them, and it's going to be a nice pull back in. Joey has to pop back into the time warp. And all of a sudden, can they stay alive in the death realm? One more big hammer will do it. And there you go. Mordekaiser evens things out 2-2. And there's going to be a chase down. But there's nothing that the Trundle can do about it.
Nope. And that's the rough part we mentioned before. With the Mordekaiser, you can do work. Maybe get it to revenge.
Try and jump on him here. Big ol' shield, though, once again. It has to use the flash. Flash for flash. A double kill back. Oh my goodness, what a good job from this top side.
That's huge. Big dubs around. All of a sudden, Cho'Gath saying got 2 early kills. Don't matter, I'm going to win. And another binding on the bot side. We're starting to see kills kind of flood in.
The damage on the Doctor, who loses about half their health. Does get that nice shielding from My Toast Stolen. Ooh, does have to flash away. Had no minions there. Side of the turret shot.
But a little bit too far, and it is dangerous. The amped up towers tend to do a lot more damage. You used to be able to get more tower shots in there, and it can do a lot of damage in there. You just have to be very careful about how close you play. Come the later levels, you're not too worried about it, but in some of these early stages, it is devastating. So nice grub take on the other side, though. Mango was able to gather a few there for themselves, so the tower taking pressure from IHSEN will be much larger.
Grubs for them, nice little start, and especially if you can stack up double of those grubs, it makes that Rift Herald just so much better. Once again, Cho'Gath up at this top side will try and fend off. Joey spending a lot of time trying to put pressure on this top lane, and all the while, that's just giving Mango Friend time to go, time to take all these neutral objectives, time to clear. Ben Davis did get Drake number 1, but it's a single Chemtech Drake. I don't know that that's going to make the difference.
Yeah, give him a little bit of time, no big deal. And honestly, I want to see the pressure change from the top side and maybe more towards this mid and bot side. You can see the current gold layout. This bot side is leaning in favor of Ben Davis. That's where you can focus a lot of your power. I'd say try to allow Me Above All to just work the map as much as possible. The more you go up there, the longer you give Cho'Gath a lot of chances to get that 1v1 kill and get stronger and stronger. At this point, try and get the other players in the lead and see what you can do for them.
It's a really good look as well. Getting to see the gold in pocket. Both MF and the Braum have over 1,800 gold in their pockets, so looking for a good clear, good push, and they will be able to go back and almost finish off whatever they would want. Good airborne, good stun, good ultimate, and Doctor is put back into the shield, but will survive.
That was a bit scary as well. Doctor being able to get away is comfortable with that barrier, but I mean, that's a whole scary slide at the end of the day, because, you know, if you allow yourself to get locked up like that one, you're in trouble. You got to be very, very careful about how hard you play. Ice King, trying to dance on the edge there, trying to find a kill on a Pokemon Geek. That would have been the chance topside, though.
Tries to pull him in. This is the grab, and so we'll pop the shield and head for the hills because there's no minions to help fight it. So, bot side here, no real mana from either one of them. They're finally going to get the back they want. They might get pushed in on this wave and lose a bit of CS, but with the 24 CS advantage the MF already has, is going to go back and buy everything.
Okay, so I haven't seen this before. Okay, so they accidentally clicked. I was about to say, that was a wild one. 4 crit cloaks, that gives you, I think, 40% crit. That's great. You have no attack damage to work with, so this makes a bit more sense. You meant to click crit cloak plus serrated dirt. You're going for the collector build. On the top side, Cho'Gath already completing their TP. Their quest line is done. Huge dub for them.
Good look so far. I mean, for both these two teams, I think finding success points through the start of this game through the first 12 minutes. Nice route there from Stolen. Doctor wants to go. The ultimate is back up. Joey is in the area. How long can they bait them in? They've got the ward to help. Echo going in here, sets the time stop. Stolen has to use the flash to get away. Ice King back in mid. It's going to be a 3v3 down here on bot side as Mango Friend sets to join them on the wraparound. He's blasting beams from the sky, trying to go, and Mango Friend is level 8 here. So we'll try and go in, just trying to frontline. And now comes Doctor against the wall, not the place you want to be. Aru comes in, and Joey falling low, down to half. Can they escape as the spray and pray has already been utilized? Gets the black shield on Mango Friend as the chase down is there, but Joey comes back in. Dice and slice for 1.
Huge chrono break there, plus the dash in. Really nice pickup to recognize that Mango didn't really have anything else in the bank. Free pickup there. Now you get a turn for Dragon once more. Ben Davis showing a very nice penchant for keeping a lot of this game in their cover. It might not be a lot of kills. The global pressure that they're mounting is pretty dang good.
We're kind of trying to solo this Drake down here and at least hold them off, but it won't work. And a duel on top side again. Me above all. Low HP, but finds it.
I really like what he did there. So the Realm of Death, Mordekaiser ultimate, draws you in the realm and actually steals stats. 10%, or I think it was like 5% of your stats, 10% at the higher levels. So what Me Above All did is waited for that Realm of Death and then subjugated back and stole the stats back, which was a higher amount. It was HP regen and everything. So you get amped up stats than you normally have. Now, I don't know if that was what they meant to do, but that is how it works. So Me Above All was able to out-sustain against Cho'Gath. Really well done.
Sometimes better to be lucky than good, I guess, and finds their 3rd kill of the game. 6 out of the 7 kills have been in this top side of Me Above All. 1 second has stuck around for too long. Mango Friend can't get the finisher. They're not going to get a kill back. So 3 plates, a kill, and back to base with 150 gold bounty on his head.
Yep, huge play so far on this top side. So right now, Cho'Gath and Me Above All are becoming the kind of stars of this game, and I'm very excited to see how much more they can do. Once this gold is unleashed from the top side, it is going to be very, very scary. A lot of people talked about when the quest line came down that 4. Oh, Mimic, that feels bad. You canceled the ult. They are going to be powerhousing through just about any opponent that they wish.
Right now they've got control, they've got the lead, they've got the gold, and they might have another kill up top side. Cho'Gath is deleted as Joey comes in to janitorialize it.
Me Above All having that extra ult. Now at least will on the bot side.
Rushing in from the Make It Rain, they've got a little bit of defense. Doctor roots them up, and bye-bye. The spray and pray was there, and Pokeyoyo will have to leave here on this one. It's a duel up top side for those grubs, but Joey's got the clear level advantage. Pops in, Chrono's back, Mango already down to half, and this duel not great for either, but Mango down to 1 shot, and Joey's got another.
Skindon having that double up on the auto attack every time you use an ability. It's a huge on-hit proc. And having that ability to just kind of slap around an opponent is huge. Not only that, Mango Friend doing the exact same means you're very squishy, so a huge boom over to the side of Ben Davis, who are looking stronger and stronger in this game.
They've got a really nice lead. We talked about that already, 3,000. But now they've got first turret down in topside. They've got pretty much full control of the map as well. Shall they need it? And they've got some looks down here, down on bot side to try and help each other out. I think that's one of the strong sides right now of HHS is this Vigar into bot side. The problem is they don't have the ability to play plays right now. None of those players have their flash. Actually, nobody on HHS has a flash.
Oh,
doesn't matter.
Good late. Ice King, comfortable spot. Went for the Rod of Ages and still had the punch at the very end. This Vigar starting to become a scary thing.
We said it's probably the strongest place, and even down 40 CS gets the 1v1 kill. And we're going to do this topside duel once again, aren't we? It's Death Realm. Popped very, very early. Me above all is just going to wait for that shield to expire, wait to pop the ultimate, and now they've got the damage boost. Hitting him with the shot. What is all it takes? And once again, drops the Mordekaiser down on the missed Q.
Huge dub for Me Above All, and it's becoming very apparent that Me Above All is going to be the mainstay player. 4-2-1 on the top side, massive gold advantage, and will continue to do so. It's only going to continue to expand up. Now another chance at a chunk, though, on the top side of the map, or kind of taking a look as Mango Friend is trying to cut off the resources.
And I don't know that you win this.
Gosh.
This is a 4-level difference from the Trundle here. And yeah, Mango just absolutely beaten with a stick to the ground. Finishes off that wave. Don't want to stick around too long. 350 gold bounty shutdown on your head. That is not something you want to give to I Hate Cho'Gath. For the bottom side, though, still relatively even. You've got that CS advantage, but the level advantage is not there.
I fully expect Me Above All to continue this play of consistent win factors, always being in the right place at the right time, farming it up as much as possible on the top side. And I don't actually see them leading. I talked about them entering into team fights, but no, you can draw enough attention down to yourself at some point. This is going to be a huge win for Ben Davis as they're now circulating Joey to just kind of stay in that region.
And stay on down and continue that push. And again, Joey's work has been really nice. You talk about that first dragon was inconsequential. The second one, not as much. Already a 2-stack here, building up from Ben Davis. Consider root again. Doctor has been really good at landing those long-range shots, being able to put them in the damage control. But with the health bar, I mean, you basically got to back up now, hit that recall, and leave this wave to the Wolves.
Yep, gotta give it up. Mimic is starting to become a massive win factor. The Collector is huge. Following up behind it, I think you're going for the Yuntal Wild Arrows, which is a little bit weird. That's different than non-hit. I would have expected an IE or something like that. Will be a question mark. Dragon, though.
We're going to play it. Maybe a burger flip here. Mango's in. Red team gets it. And it's going to be Ben Davis with full control. They only need 2 players here, by the way. My Toast stolen, trying to go in. Joey's got the chrono break. Gets the health on back. And they're going to take another down. My Toast is stolen. Well, can only shield himself for a second. And Joey will follow up for more. Me Above All. Solo kill. Pokemon, another. And Ben Davis has truly found their space with another stun over the wall. There goes the Vigar. Joey rampages him. Double kill from the Echo. And 4 fall. Make it an ace.
Massive dub for Ben Davis. And we mentioned that Joey is a monster, but Me Above All is stealing that spotlight. This Trundle is one that needs to be worried about. I think it's only going to continue. You can see while Mimic as well as Ho are on the bot side, it doesn't matter. It feels like Me Above All is already hitting the inhibitor tower right now. This is a fast-paced, what looks to be a close way to end the game.
I mean, if they can keep up the speed, it is going to be rapid and fast. No Void Grubs here for the overall push on the Rift Herald, but little does it matter. That Rift Herald is going to get them basically 2 turrets worth of value. Ice King, their one strong point, will try and take down Joey. Gets the stun, gets the chrono break back, but jumps right back into Mango. Takes him down, but doesn't live to tell the tale. It's a 2-for-1, the shutdown through mid, and that Brand should be able to finish off the turret.
Really, really well done, though. It's a pick, and you're still getting the damage down. So I think it's a worthwhile trade out in a 2-for-2 at the end of the day, as long as you're getting tower pressure down, right? For Ben Davis, that's all you really care about. Spray and pray being used here, but it's going to be enough. Glacial pressure goes wide. Oh, what a binding.
I mean, the damage is just insane. The roots are unfathomable here, and both are going to fall on down. It is one strong point here of HHS. Their twitch, their damage, and the ability to land roots has been very solid. They're even going to pick up the objective bounty.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
It's going to be a nice one. All of a sudden, it is a Doctor looking like a menace as well. These are things that we have to watch for. Power points for HHS. They are looking like their ADC will be the one to play for. But me above all is looking to be a one-man army.
Trying to just force their way in. Might be thinking better of it now. Decides, let's do it. A jungle battle? Don't worry, I've got friends coming. Just have to delay for the time. Mango gets beat over the head by the stick. And all four are next to follow. Joey's got a pick on the support. And now they've already got two. They aren't going to stop. They get the pull in, but little doesn't matter. Death Realm on me above all survives and then dies. A nice kill on back, but Joey gets the cleanup. Once again, Chrono breaking forward. Shifting time, shifting the kills, a double kill. And the stun of Vigar, maybe the 1v2 here has the damage, but no longer the life. It's an ace.
So well done coming out of Ben Davis. They kited out perfectly. It didn't go exactly like they wanted. A lot of it was messy, but that was a 3v5, right? You take a look, Pacoyo as well as Miz were on the bot side. That's where they were farming. They were not in that fight at all. And a 3v5 and you take out the whole team, that's huge. Joey and Pokemon Geek being able to beat them at the very end, recognizing their own power here, really, really well done. That is huge gold influx for them.
Got the money for sure. They're at about 7.5 thousand in terms of the gold lead. They've got 3 dragons as well, so in a minute and a half, if HHS aren't ready to fight, well, that's going to be Mountain Soul given over already. That would be 4 straight Drakes. Joey, not necessarily caught out here. They've got a friend in Pokemon Geek, and their damage combined is just insane. That's a tank, by the way, that disappears in the matter of seconds. Me above all, they're going to give the kill over to their top laner. Tri-4s, trifects them into dices, and it's 20 kills for Ben Davis.
It's only going to continue with Dragon coming up in about a minute. You know that Mountain Soul giving extra armor and magic resist plus an extra shield is going to be disgusting work here. You have forced out the event horizon from this poor Yordle.
Oh.
There's just no way you're going to survive. Ben Davis flexing their muscles here.
Me above all. I mean, who can stop them? Especially with a Mountain Soul impenetrable. Another 1v1 victory. Takes down the top laner. And with 3 dead, me above all is actually going to choose to back off here. 1,300 gold in the bank account, in the pockets here. So we'll choose to just back off as the rest of the team actually looking towards someplace else. You mentioned it, Dragon starting up in 15 seconds.
More time for them to just gather these benefits. And see, for Mimic and Okoyo, they don't actually want to push this tower. They're extending the laning phase here, and they have so much free time. Like, they have so much free time to do whatever they want, because Mia above all is drawing 3 to 4 members every single time. It's so free that they're able to do whatever they want, which is now look at that dragon for themselves.
I mean, they're just baiting them in. They say, no, we'll trade our top laner for the Drake, and you're not even going to get our top laner because he's way too tanky. The Drake is already bursting down, and that should be it. Another blue turret destroyed here. It's going to be the first outer tower, and Mia Babal is just going to go in. Why not? Take down the volley. There goes the jungler. Killings Drake for sure. 9, 4, and 5. Mia Babal backs off to the safety of their vision line, or not. Just goes back in. Why not? Slam Doctor over the head with a hammer. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Goodbye. Double kill from the Trundle. And guess who once more?
Huge dub. It's only going to continue. Ben Davis are looking like the winners here in more ways than one. A 2-man Baron between Joey and Pokemon Geek. This is huge. This is basically, 5 minutes down the road, but this is big for them.
They've got the Baron. They've got the Drake Soul. They've got mountainous shields to protect them all the way through and through. Realistically, they've got a 10,000 gold lead, and that is only going to grow with his Baron power play. One of the tougher things is for HHS, they don't really have vision to escape out. Their whole bot side jungle is just covered with red wards here. And then on the other side, you also talk about there are 2 exposed tier 3 turrets, where if Ben Davis gets control of those, the game is basically over.
Yep, really powerful time, of course, for Mimic. Trying to play safe in their own. Doctor still saying, dude, I got some of the damage, but the damage might not be enough.
Man, Joey on these backside looks once again slices the back line with the anti-carry down. Next to follow is the support. And with Ice King going down with a triple kill from the Echo, the damage is completely gone from HHS.
That just might be the finish. Ben Davis looking to barrel down this tower and just kind of clean it out right now.
Dashing in, dives in with the phase action, and already will take down this 3rd tier turret. IHSEN will try and do what they can. Will try and pull into the death realm, but Joey will survive. Chrono breaking back out of it, and now it's just a 5v1. It's an ace. The Echo earning a double-digit kill marker, 13, 2, and 10, and their jungler leads them to the victory in Game 1.
I honestly think they can just clear this. I don't think there's any stopping them at all. Llama, I think this is game.
Game number 1 is going to Ben Davis as the final ultimate over the top. Mir puts him in the dirt. Ben Davis is victorious on their red side look.
Very, very nicely done. It came through from me above all, the solo player. It felt like that kind of carried it through. Yes, Cho'Gath Hater got a chance in that lane, was able to get 1 or 2 kills, but after that, I mean, you look at the damage output, 11, 4, and 9 at 35,500 damage in there. Really, really well done. Coming in from me above all, and Joey was able to kind of prime him for even more action.
Yeah, I mean, Joey was phenomenal. I think a tougher start with that early topside loss. You thought the Mordekaiser was going to get a bit out of control. And then that Echo started to get some items under their feet. I mean, you talk about the new Dusk and Dawn revamp, getting to see that damage it brings with all of its special effects on the Echo, and getting to see all the damage that they were able to do from secrecy points on these backside wraps. I will say the one really strong thing from HHS, their bot side looked really, really good. If they hadn't been as far behind as they were, could have really made a difference.
Yeah, you got to find a way to kind of curb that and also get that Twitch a little bit further out. I do wonder if putting Hate Cho'Gath in the top side on a tank would be a little bit better. The Mordekaiser worked to an extent, but it wasn't perfect. So I want to see them do a little bit more and maybe get some help from the jungle as well.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it felt like the Volibear was good on his clearing speed and was doing good at taking objectives. By the time that they were going into a team fight, just didn't have the kills to back it up that the Echo had done, or had really affected really much else of the map, had tried a few mid dives that didn't really work. The Vygar had a ton of really, really good plays as well. But now it comes down to this. Unfortunately for HHS, you can't win the overall series, but you sure can lose it. So you go to this game number 2 with a revamped ban system. You try and set it up for success and try and get the tie at the very least.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on as we go ahead. We'll go to a very short break. I think once they're ready, we'll get right into it. So just give us a few more minutes and we'll be ready for game 2.
Welcome back, everybody, to Indian Esports and our coverage of High School League of Legends. Still on my 77 and Orbital up here in the booth. And Orbital, Ben Davis, after a shaky start to game number 1, they come back, they demolish it through jungle, and now are up 1-0 in the overall best of 2 series.
Yeah, Joey hopping into that top lane mix and allowing a lot of power to come through for Me For All, who just started taking over on that Trundle. It was a very painful one to watch. If you're the Mordekaiser, you pick the Mordekaiser first, you were like, hey, I'm going to win, and then you get kind of ground into just metal scraps at the very end. So for Hate Shogath, you had the right idea. I think the Mordekaiser had its place, but against a Trundle, I don't think it's going to work out. You need to save that Mordekaiser pick for a little bit later.
And now that question is, we go back to this kind of pick and ban phase where the teams will get sort of a revamped idea of what they want to do. They get 5 new fresh bans, 5 new fresh picks on the overall Rift, and now the question is, obviously that Echo was not fun to play against, but is it enough to ban away the Echo and the Udyr and the Cassante right at the start, and maybe you leave something else open?
I am a little bit worried about that call because I do wonder if the Cassante is even worse. Yeah, I mean, if Me For All is even better on the Cassante than anything else, I'd be, a little bit worried about that one. So, take your chances where you wish. As you mentioned, though, the Udyr as well is one that's just, you could toss it up there, but I think overall it's gonna be tough whichever way you go. I think Ben Davis came out and they showed that they can play exceptionally well, no matter which area they are kind of putting the carries into.
Yeah, it felt like they can kind of just play on anything. It felt like the Misfortune was a little bit lackluster towards the start, but found some really, really big ultimates towards the end of things, especially in those team fights, which is where you want your Misfortune to succeed. And their whole top side won. I mean, although their mid lane and bottom lane didn't get as much action, I mean, it was a jungle and top side showcase. So if you can shut down those 2 aspects of things, could make things a little bit easier. And especially talking for HHS, they went into the last ban phase, kind of banned away all those 80 carries in round number 2. They weren't super worried about that. I mean, I don't know how much they have to change, except just a couple of picks maybe from last game.
Yeah, I would be a little bit worried about the brand. I like brand, don't get me wrong, but I would like a little bit more oomph from the mid lane. Maybe something like a Syndra, maybe something, like an Orianna. These have a little bit more catch potential than the brand. The brand requires a little bit more setup. And if your opponent, Ice King, is wanting to play a little bit more range like the Vigar, I'd like something that can reach a little bit further. So, there's some interesting sorts in there for sure.
Yeah, well, we will have to wait just a moment to get into our draft. We're going to take just another short little break. Don't go too far. More Indian Esports League of Legends right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Still here at Indiana Esports for our coverage of High School League of Legends, and it's still Llama7 and Orbital up here in the booth. In case you missed our beautiful faces, Orbital, we're back for game number 2. I think we've got everything squared away on the back end, and again, very excited to see how this one shakes out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the side of HHS is able to kind of shut down the likes of Me for All and Joey, who really did run rampant in that previous game. Looking at it, the sides have been swapped a little bit. So for Ben Davis, they're over there on the blue side of the map, banning out the same as before.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Of course, interesting. You get kind of a coin flip just going here into the regular season. As we get in towards that postseason, that's where that upper seeding is going to matter. Getting your side selection, getting to go where you want to go. Again, the advantages of blue side, for those of you that are kind of unfamiliar with League of Legends, blue side, you get first pick. So you get to select exactly what you want in the number 1 slot. And one of the big advantages of red side is you get that final pick. You get that big 5th pick. You get what's called that counter pick. So you get to counter some of what blue wants to do.
Yeah, it looks like we have a little bit of a misban in there. We'll have to give a little time to see which exactly that one is. Taking a look, it looks like that echo is very much on the table for the ban side. William Harris say we don't want to do anything along those lines once more, but it might leave open some very important picks at the end. There's going to be a Warwick and a Viego instead, leaving the likes of an Udyr up to play.
It's pretty interesting. Obviously, the Udyr is there. The Udyr is going to be a lot of fun if it does go through, because again, Bearman is a lot of good fun to watch, can have a really good clear speed, can have really good dueling, but Trundle is going to be the second one. So very definite of a deserved ban after the map number 1 performance. And you know what Ben Davis said? The brand was good enough. Let's lock it in again.
Yeah, and run it back the same. Brand was good. Twitch did okay for Doctor down on the bot side. I don't dislike this. Again, these are all things that did technically work in the previous times. So you give it a little bit of time, give it a little bit of work, and maybe it'll come out on top. Now, last time with the Twitch, I believe it was paired with the Morgana. And slamming this blind is a little bit interesting. You usually wait to see if there's a bit more CC. I like the invest in the top side, though. Me for All going a very mechanical champion here.
You've got that public execution, really big ultimate that can help sway those fights on over, and they'll immediately lock it in with something different this time. They want to go for the Kaiten, a little bit more targeted. It was, again, banned away in that second round of ban rotation, so they didn't actually get a chance to pick it, but I think it's got a lot of versatility. You've got those traps, you've got long range, and you've got an ultimate that is much more easier to hit because it auto does it for you.
Oh yeah, and it's nice to have as well to outrange the likes of a Twitch. So now you're looking at William Harris, and you're going, what do we actually pick here? We have to choose something, and you're going to choose Pantheon with its relatively short range comparatively to the rest here. You're waiting on that on the Grand Starfall to be able to enter into a lot of these battles. So I am a little bit worried about that pickup there. The Lux at the end here is a surprising factor in my opinion. Banning it out after you've seen some of the short range that they're going. In the mid lane, I get it, but the Vigar is still up, right?
That's very true. The Vigar was really good. I think it was one of the strongest pieces going in there. And looking at the overall composition, you've already got the Brand, you've already got the Caitlyn. The Ambessa is some frontline, but it isn't enough to win you a team fight quite yet. Now, again, if it's the same top lane performance that they had in game number 1, they're going to be able to steamroll through. But I'm excited to see what they pick for these last couple picks, to either see if they give themselves a little bit more frontline for that jungle, a little bit more engaged. Again, the Echo is off the board, but that Udyr is not.
Yeah, you could play it if you want to, but the Pantheon, I think, is going more towards that jungle side. The Pantheon can go top side. I don't know how well it does into the Mbessa personally. And if they wish to play it, it is one. It looks like they are going to shift in there. So it is the Pantheon looking more like the top side. Karthus might be mid lane, I think. If we're looking at a little bit of a weird rotation here, I know the Karthus can go jungle, but I don't like it in this range here. So I think it's going to go more in the mid lane factor. The Master Yi, though, is a surprise factor above all. And that'll be one to watch for. A Jace at the end as well. These picks are kind of all over the place.
I mean, we could be putting anything anywhere. Finally, they'll lock in the Khaled, it looks like, instead of jumping over towards the Jace. And I want to go back to that Master Yi for a moment, because it gives, I feel like, Ben Davis even more of an explosive potential, especially through that mid lane. You talk about, they had just kind of a range versus range matchup that didn't really get anywhere until it hit level 6, level 7. Master Yi is someone that can punish you from very early on and can re-control that game. What all of their composition screams to me is for Ben Davis, yes, they're a 5-player team, but they've got 5 players that can individually step up and take over the game all themselves.
Yeah, these are, once again, very independent champions that can all function in a composition, but they each want to do their own thing. Namely, if we're looking at the Master Yi, you just want to get kills, you want to farm up. For the Mbessa, you want to get kills, you want to farm up. For the Brand, you want to team fight and kills and farm up. For the Caitlyn, you just want to land consistent damage at the end of the day. So there are some very distinct parts of this that will lead to a possible team fight, but they are geared more towards the solo lanes. They are geared much more into saying, me for all can carry, Joey can carry. Let's give them the opportunity to carry.
Yeah, give them the opportunity to go. And again, missing just one pick on either side. We'll get to figure out what that is very, very soon. But for these two teams, I mean, at this moment, it's kind of weird because you have this best of 2 format, right? Where you don't get a full best of 3. You don't get a full chance to reverse sweep. And for HHS, they lost that first game. Now they're just looking to try and pick up the tie. If they can pick up the tie, again, it helps them out in terms of points, in terms of match variability going into those playoffs. But if you're Ben Davis, if you can go into just your second week of regular season play because of the new arena they just built and take a win, go 0.500 after just 2 weeks, that will feel incredibly good.
Yeah, you'll feel great moving into the rest of the season as well. You kind of put a target on your back for anyone else tuning in and saying, hey, is this a team to watch out for? Sure. But I think they've done very well. And again, recognizing that you can kind of pick on this top side might be a call that they're making. The Kled at the end does surprise me, so I'm curious to see if William Harrison are going to have some sort of extra value. So it'll be fun to watch for. But I'm just overall curious. We're looking at this position for them because, as you said, for Ben Davis, they want to go to a 1-1. Well, for HHS, they might be looking at a 3-7, and I don't think anyone wants to have their season kind of push into the lower realms of the scoreboard like that.
Yeah, especially as you talked about. I mean, even through the late portions of the season, every single matchup matters. And, it is about building structure on top of structure. But at the end of the day, I mean, what's a better motivator than trying to go win a high school championship via the playoffs? And you've got to not necessarily win the championship on the day of. You've got to win the championship by winning it 3 months ago, right? Getting preparation and building up towards that factor. Your team that practices for 3 months up to that championship. It just doesn't come on the day of. And we can clearly tell that for Ben Davis, we got some of the background player profiles. They have been playing as a team, not necessarily in IEN, but have been playing as a team in ranked, in other modes, and playing together to build that cohesion.
Yeah, you go ahead and experience can do quite a bit. I 100% agree on that one. When you play together for so long, you are able to bring a lot more comfortability to your team squad. And so we want to see this work for them. We want to see this continuous action just kind of get better and better as you learn. Hey, does my teammate like to go in a lot quicker, or do they like to play a little bit safer? Do they like to play a little bit further back? How do they want to play this game? So A lot of big questions to ask here, and to watch them continue to kind of make those motions throughout the next couple of weeks will be very fun.
Gonna be exciting to watch them build it up further and further. Those two missed picks were the Pantheon on the one side and the Braum on the other side. So nothing too crazy. We saw them hover that Pantheon. They just didn't get it selected in time, but they'll get it locked in here for that mid lane. It is officially the Morgana and Twitch down the bot lane. Kled up towards that top side. And in the jungle is going to be that Karthus. The Braum, the other missed pick on the other side. Again, nothing too super fancy. That bot lane, Caitlyn Braum, it's got good long range. It's got good survivability. And it's got good team fighting potential if they happen to have another jungle roam go down their way.
Yep. I am also taking a look at this. Okay, so we're looking at the screen here. There might be some chaos to unfold here if I'm looking at it correctly. So that will be a Pantheon mid lane, if I'm reading this right. That will be a Karthus in the jungle, which can do some work. We know Karthus jungle can clear pretty quickly. But that's a Master Yi, possibly in the top lane, with an Mbessa jungle. All of these things, I was waiting for confirmation. That is wildly different than what we know from before. The Master Yi against the Kled, not great. That can cause a lot of problems. The Brand versus the Pantheon, very Brand favored. So I think for Ben Davis, they're kind of trading where their threat potential is and how well their lanes are going to work.
Yeah, I think the only thing regular about this draft was the bot lane. Like, what are we doing up there? I thought for sure, like, Mbessa's going top lane, especially with how good the performance was in game number 1. But, I mean, this is a game number 2 where either win or lose, no more second chances after this one. The series is over, so give it your all. But also, for those solo lane pressures, for Ben Davis, one of the nice things they had from that first game was just that CS differential. Their laning, the fundamentals, as you talked about. They were the first to hit 50 CS in almost every single lane, and just that early gold, that early spike can put you so far ahead.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of your itemization a lot earlier. I think we usually talk about like 80 CS is the number. Now that's gone up because of some of the changes that have recently come into League of Legends. But 80 by 10 used to be the marker. Now it's closer to 90 to 100 for like top tier or, you know, that comfortable play status. So 50 to 60 at that range, very, very quick on the uptick. I like seeing them be able to farm it up. And on the flip side, I think the only one close was Doctor in the bot side. So I do want to see Doctor try and do it once more. If they're able to make this Twitch work, they're able to get the CS and a couple kills, hey, that can be some magic.
And I like that they have a little bit of stability. From game number 1 to game number 2, their bot lane was, I think, their most successful lane. They got a couple of really good, successful team fights down there as well. And that Twitch, especially in team fights, if you can get the rest of the team going, or even if you can get a good push in from the Twitch, getting that Morgana to roam to some of these other lanes, especially mid, can really reinforce some of the other things you want to build upon. And again, one of the other things to note is that neutral objective control. For Ben Davis, game number 1, they just stole all 4 dragons uncontested. The third one, there was a little bit of a burger flip, but basically uncontested on all 4 of them and got Mountain Soul for free. That's got to be something you're looking at as the bottom lane and saying, if our Morgana can just rotate out to help our jungler, that's a much different fight.
Yeah, you can go ahead and help them out a little bit. The Karthus does need a little bit of amp up, so I would actually expect a little bit of roam out from the Morgana regardless. Try and help out, try maybe help on the invades or get a little bit cheeky with it. There's a lot of things that they might have to focus on at the end here to get this Karthus ahead. Now, for me though, I'd actually like to see the Morgana roam into the mid lane and help the Pantheon. I think for Ice King had a good idea. The Vigar was able to get a kill here and there, has the opportunity, but you're not going to get close to the Brand. I want to see this Morgana be able to roam in, give a little bit of help on the backhand, and really punch high with this level of skill, if you will, in that range. So I'm very much expecting a little bit more movement from IHSEN in this game number 2.
It is game number 2. It's the best of 2 as well. So Ben Davis looking for their first series win of their IEN League of Legends career. And it could come right here in just their second game played. For HHS, a bounce back could be imminent if they can definitely play through Dark Cut and the rest of their mid lane setup. And I think for Ice King as well, if you can get going, again, you are the one with the global ultimate that can then, if they affect your lane, you can start affecting everywhere else on the map.
Yep, giving a little bit of help, helping out the lanes, getting some kills here and there, 100%. Very much agree, but start, though, is the problem. Take a look at this. Early poke from Pokemon Geek will be a consistent factor here. And this isn't a Zaheen, where you can draw the opponent back in. That spear does very little damage. And the auto attack leaving that Pokemon Geek is throwing down is also really, really big.
A little bit of a melee versus range matchup in that top lane, and the Kled is going to have to demount. That fadeaway shot goes good. Just a little bit of early trading, and he'll be on to level 2 just yet, but that is going to be a very volatile matchup up in top lane, just like it was in game number 1.
And it's always interesting to watch. Me above all opted for the Q start, getting that range difference. Mid lane, we're seeing the chunk out here, so no major burns come through. But an early Dark Harvest stack for Pokemon Geek, I didn't even notice that. Having that added benefit and being able to kind of poke out the opponent that way is big, but a little bit of a chase forward. Hey, Cho'Gath might be in for a rude awakening. What a remount!
Gets back on top of it, and it's the Ignite.
Oh my god.
That's going to get him down. Both burn their summoners, but it's me above all who strikes first blood.
Was not expecting that one at all. Well played on either end, and things are getting messy once again. Me above all getting a big win, and we know how fast a Master Yi can pop off in these situations. You get a little bit of extra attack speed, get a little bit of extra farm, and all of a sudden you're off to the races.
Already up that 10 CS, and does that first blood as well. So nice little 600 gold lead. Ice King has to back off from the wave, and that continued poke is just so tough to deal with. Nice jump in, nice stun. Pokemon Geek continues to pester him out. Channeled up, got the spear ready to go, and Ice King already utilizing that Ignite through mid, will only have their flash left to go.
Tough times, right? Ice King, you knew this matchup was going to be rough, but you still chose it. The only space that you can really work in now is that bot side, which is where we're actually seeing a lot of emphasis from Joey. Joey just looking to try and get the scuttle, get a full clear in, and look even better and better. And I mean, because Mango chose to go from bot to top on that blue buff to red, which makes sense. Meeting of different minds here. This could be a really well thought out game.
Holding on the bush right now, Pokemon Geek is low in. The Pantheon will get stunned away. No survivability. Joey's into the back line. No ultimate, still level 4, but dicing them up very well. They will escape back to the turret. All 4 summoner spells utilized from HHS's bot lane.
I mean, that's an easy pick, and all of a sudden, Doctor and Toast are now in a really rough spot. These two have to play safe. You can't step up, and that's going to allow this Caitlyn Braum matchup to push even further into the lane states. Ice King now getting yanked in the mid lane.
Joey coming in here. Ice King has a lot of damage actually right now on the level 4, and will be able to defend it quite enough. So is going to be the recall from the Ambessa, and Joey will go back to base, or will they? Mango Friend is here, and they will. Getting the clear from Karthus, and right now it's an even jungle matchup, 28 to 28.
I mean, it's even, but maybe not so even. You can see the amount of pressure that's being laid down between the two. A lot more, I feel, being given over to Joey, who has already involved this bot lane. A lot more dangerous in that pattern as well, so see if it continues up here. Pokemon Geek also getting a really nice farm difference in the mid lane, so everything leading to Ben Davis, and I think it's only going to continue.
Push their way in here, see if they can just get any sort of buff that they can. This early game is all about those first kills, and solo kill sits in me above all. He's got as many daggers as they can fit in their inventory, a pair of simple boots, and a bit of damage as well onto the Kled, who's going to jump in again for the Alpha Strike. Cannons are out, so can't really push it at the moment as the wave stalls out in the setup of mid.
A little bit more time here as Pokemon Geek getting a lot of free time with that burn. Pyroclasm is available as well. Hard finding going to land on one, but I mean, it's a lot of just trading pattern. No one really pushing for those objectives just yet, but Mango Friend might have something to say.
Mango Friend just continuing to send this one out and send this one down back into mid. And for the bot lane, they continue to duel with just a Braum down there to try and defend the wave. And it is the brand of Pokemon Geek that gets pushed back through mid, about half health left on them. They survive to tell the tale. You talk about Joey and how far ahead they are. I mean, they've already got the glowing moat. They've got both those long swords on the build path to the Eclipse.
We'll look at a dive on the top side, though. Me above all, really using that Wushu style to effective healing and disabling of a lot of the damage up there. This threat is consistent, if you will. Another rotational gank, though. There's no safety this time.
From the backside, they've got no summoner spells. Dark, the first one to be targeted, and Joey will execute them out of the lane. And escaping nature from the support will get them out alive. Now it's a gank up top. Master Yi, still not level 6 from Mango Friend, and completely jumps on them. They've already got the ultimate. They've already got the Highlander. They've got one. And is it the Alpha Strike to keep them alive? Cho'Gath once more, but the Ignite will push them away, and so will their mount.
Times ahead, me above all, getting more victories up on the top side. And remember, the longer that they stay in this winning position, the faster they'll have this TP. And a Master Yi with TP terrifies me. Right, at the end of the day, you're able to get that TP off, you join in the fight, you go into the Wuju South, and you just destroy HP bars. So a lot of scary stuff might be occurring soon if HHS are not careful.
The tough part for me was also that, Mango tried that dive at level 5. Didn't have the Requiem available. Me above all was still a level advantage above IHSEN as well. For that, it will cost them the first Drake. Joey gets up there, gets back down in his roams, clears his bot side, and then takes that first dragon. It's a chem tech against Starter, and Joey once again. Public execution lands, and the stun on Ice King is quite enough. Pokemon Geek gets the kill, but it's 4-zip Ben Davis.
Easy punch to the back of the head. Really, really well done there, and Joey gets a freebie. That's going to lead to even more screen time for Pokemon Geek and the squad. Me above all recalls and is safe, but for Pokemon Geek, you now get free farm. You're going to get another plate off that tower, getting even more gold to your advantage. I think you're running straight for that Rhylight there, so it's going to be real comfortable for the side of Ben Davis in the scaling side.
I had Cho'Gath with finally able the ability to remount. Will run away from Joey here, who deals a large chunk of damage. Once again, limiting the amount of CS they can get, watching over the lane while me above all comes back to it. Gets that ward, but I hit Cho'Gath. I don't think you want this fight, especially with a Master Yi returning to lane. They've still got the mount, they've still got the speed bonus from that, but at the moment, everything else is sort of falling apart with those CS advantages.
Feels like worse and worse here. In the lane, flash forward.
Pokemon Geek will take a couple spears to the head. Ice King just pelted away. The stun, the takedown, and the ultimate will take him down. The continued fire burn is good enough for Pokemon Geek's second kill of the game.
Very, very well done there. And that snipe at the very end is once again that range disadvantage that we talked about. Ice King has to commit so much for that battle. It just doesn't work out to their favor. Above all, it takes a lot of tower shots up on the top side, but hasn't really recalled yet. So they're taking some time of their own there. A lot of benefactory going over to the side, though, of Ben Davis, and it's only going to continue bot side.
Oh, they're looking for it straight up. Okoyoi will try and send their way in off the frontline protection. Dark gets hit by yet another. The root comes in, but Mir is still very healthy. The chance misses on the long-range netting. They won't be able to follow up the team fight quite yet. They've got minions, but a flash is forced. And Doctor is forced to play this lane out with one less summoner, and Joey's coming in.
And for Joey, they've done this 3-4 times already, and they're about to do it once more. No man on the side. They walked over ward, and Joey still gets free gank.
Oh, public execution still in the inventory, but do they even need it? Slice, dice, and eating at the buffet. Even without the ultimate, it's a double kill to the Mbessa. Up top, it's me above all, who's slicing, who's alpha striking, and Mango Friend is not long for this world. They are level 8 and level 9, and their damage is insane. That is 3 kills for nothing.
Easy play, it feels like. No dice whatsoever in that value, and it's just powerful work here. Ben Davis, game number 1, a little bit sloppy, a little bit scary, I would say. A kill was granted over to Cho'Gath, who played very, very well. But this time around, almost no errors, consistent game patterns, consistent control over these lane assignments, and consistent damage coming out, always prepping a kill. Really, really well done.
And honestly, from me above all, another really good game that they've been able to pilot around a melee versus ranged matchup where they're able to win in a matchup where you said, like, the Kled is very good at just outranging you and beating you in those early stages. We're 10 minutes in, and it's a 4,500 gold lead to Ben Davis.
think it's only going to continue. At this point, I'd almost assume we're going to see Ben Davis start to look for even more of those global objectives, continue to kind of mount that pressure against anyone on the opposing side. Another tag for Pokemon Geek as control over the mid lane is continuing. You have a ball though in a dicey spot.
Still has that mount, that extra shielding, and the turret shot is enough. Going a bit too far forward. The first kill comes via a turret laser to the head. And I Had Cho'Gath will take that all day. I mean, even for as much as they've given over kills, I Had Cho'Gath has done a really good job of sticking with them in the CS count.
Yeah, they've been able to stay up in the farm game, and I do hope that they'll be able to maintain some sort of advantage. A little bit later, they got the kill on the top side and are looking to try and power through with some more plate damage. I mean, Kled is definitely one of those champs that really does feel comfortable when it comes to trying to bully someone else out as well with the extra HP bar to play with on a natural source. So, you know, if you can make it work, you can make it work at the end of the day.
Right now, what's working? It's a little bit of this bottom lane, a good little level evilization here. And it's Dark, who will take a bunch of damage on the early engage. About half their HP bar lost, no flash as well. And me above all, trying to get the revenge. Level down here, a little doesn't matter. Requiem is already going to be popped for the early damage, but is it enough? Jumping in with the Alpha Strike, me above all is taken down again!
I think me above all clicked on a minion, so I Hate Cho'Gath with the extra giant spell really makes a difference. And now it's on Joey though, who gets a kill in the jungle. They come to a 1v1, a little bit of a difference in there. They're going to dance on the dragon as well. The big win for the top side as I Hate Cho'Gath is starting to come back.
Cho'Gath is doing a good job. I will say, that's a tough one. Karthus 1v1, a level down against Enebessa. You're just never going to win that without teammates in the area, and especially without that Requiem ultimate that had been used so early on in that team fight to help assist in getting that kill on me against all. Second Drake is theirs. It's going to be a Hextech, and already putting up the shield is the Pantheon. Ice King under a lot of threat, especially with Joey in the area. Still has public execution. If they want it, they'll launch it, land it, and take them down.
That's the star of the squad here. Me above all, though, for round number 2.
They're level 9 here. I mean, you just don't win this against the Kled. Taking them out with the Alpha Strike, and it's another burst of damage with the shotgun. The Kled, good enough for 3 straight kills on their top lane matchup.
Really, really well done. Things are starting to look up. Now, Pokemon Geek is on the other side, though, 3-0-2. This other player that we said in game number 1 was a little bit, stifled in terms of how well they played. They played well, but it wasn't the spotlight. Come around, you might be in the spotlight if you continue to play like this.
Spotlight right now is definitely on that top lane, it feels like. And if I Hate Cho'Gath can continue to succeed, they're not the biggest frontliner, but especially being able to have that for your team fights is ever critical. The problem is going to be this Drake stacking. Again, if you don't get this next Drake here in 3.5 minutes, if you are HHS, that's a possible Mountain Soul again on the table.
It's another Mountain. I think they're going to be more than okay with him. Mimic stepping up, not able to land that 90 caliber net. It is a difficult skill shot to land. See if they can make something happen, but they are pushing quite well. Now at about a 20 CS lead there in the bottom side. 600 gold up, which has given them a lot of benefit. That's going to be the ace in the hole. Flash away barrier. So Mimic gets some free reign in the mid here, or in the bot side laning phase.
That's pretty huge. I mean, Dark has been very good at fighting their way, staying alive with 800 gold in the pocket. It's not a terrible time to back, but they continue to take chunk shots. Doctor is literally just one shot away from dying. I Hate Cho'Gath, pretty much the same. Pokemon Geek gonna try and play a little bit defensive. Mango Friend only level 9. Ice King gonna go on in here with the flash, trying to fight on. Joey is coming in from the backside, and it doesn't even matter. The damage from the fire of the brand is enough for the first, and Mango is gonna get gifted over here to Joey. Requiem to try and take Pokemon Geek down will not work. 2 straight kills for the jungler of Joey.
Well done, well played. Really, really smart stuff here from Joey. 6-0-1 at this point. Almost 7,000 gold for their own. And on an Embessa, no less. An Embessa that can take over a game. Completely deny any sort of advantage you might have later on. This is looking better and better for the squad. And all of a sudden, it's me above all winning it out as well.
This is just insane. The take back here, the ability to persistently go, gives them yet another. Doctor and crew, they've got the HP advantage down bottom. The question really is, do they want to fight? Now more than ever. Do they want to try and fight, especially with 2 minutes away from the Drake, especially with so many of these other positions falling across the map, and Mango Friend is just deleted. They've got the Rift Herald, but they've also got a body.
No chance whatsoever. Feels a little bit bad. And I feel like if we could see the items once more, this feels like Me Above All and Joey are starting to get off to the races a little bit faster than we expected. I mean, Joey, of course, winning out all day long, but Me Above All lost 3 times in a row and is able to bounce back now, get some advantages on the tops of the map. This is wild stuff from them.
I like that their confidence is still there. I mean, you could say after the Kled got 3 kills in that top lane that, for Me Above All, you'd back off a little bit. You still have a level disadvantage there, but no, the confidence has been sky high for Joey, who is yet to die. You mentioned 6-0-1, now 7-0-1 with a 650 gold bounty. Well, my toast is stolen. Is going to be stolen from this one. Double kill down towards bot side. Pokemon Geek comes to help finish it up.
I mean, Pokemon Geek has sat in the mid lane for majority share, and a lot of kills have come their way, but this feels like a much more spread out lead now. We're starting to see that shift, right? Remember, in game number 1, we saw the bot side tower never really go down. I think it took like 25, 26 minutes. This time around, it falls at 17 and a half. All the outer towers are down, so a much more cohesive game coming out of Ben Davis.
We're doing it again. It's the 8th time this chapter has been written, and IHSEN doesn't have a turret to protect themselves. It's one shot away. Gets the rebound and gets the takedown. Me Above All uses every single summoner spell they have.
Crazy work at the end there. And I think for Me Above All, you went for a very squishy build. We still need a bit more amp up, and I think you had to respect the fact that you died one too many times, and that Cho'Gath has actually even out the gold dispensary, and that Titanic Hydra is just pulling you at this point. So you want to see a little bit of weight. This time, though, a nice denial by IHSEN as dive to this dragon, but what?
Lands the public execution, and bye-bye. There's half of your damage, and here comes Pokemon Geek to clean it up. Joey is just slicing the jungler as a 3-level disadvantage, and a quick dash of the sword. The axes deal him in a triple kill. Double-digit kills with not a single death from Joey, and you thought that was your Mountain Drake. No, that is ours. Ben Davis on Soul Point.
Well done and well played right there. Concise and controlled is the best way I can look at it. Joey never even flinched. I feel like just raw power in there, and doing the same here to Cho'Gath.
Lands the Lacerate, will head on in, and IHSEN, they're gonna lay the public execution under tower, and Doctor will die for it. My goodness, Pokemon Geek gets them both, but that is insane tech from the Ben Davis crew.
Well played, well done, and it leads to massive advantages. Me Above All, carried in game number 1. Joey this time, full spotlight to their name, will not end. I feel like it's only going to continue. I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
I mean, the gold lead is 11,000. They've already taken down some of those outer turrets. Now their focus is on those tier 2s to build that gold lead even higher. Baron not available at the moment. Me Above All, dueling a 3-level advantage they have over the Karthus. And at this point, the toughest part for HHS, they don't even have access to their own jungle, so they can't go out and clear some of those camps to give themselves some of that extra gold.
Yep. It's just, you gotta kind of sit here and kind of eat it. You were hoping for a little bit more laning phase, and now the collapse might work, though. But Ice King, I don't think you want to be here. You're down a couple levels.
You got the flash, so that's a good bonus, but you will pay for it with your life. The fire's already good enough, and the takedown is there. Me Above All dies on top lane, and once again that Kled continues to succeed. But guess who's here? Joey, the undefeated king of them all. And there goes the Karthus before they can get the ult off. It's down the other way, and this Kled in a 1v2, especially with Pokemon Geek and the damage they bring back from this brand, while public execution is wide. But it shouldn't matter. I mean, Baron's available. You can just go take that.
Do you want to? I think you want to take out Cho'Gath a little bit more here. I love the posturing from these two.
Take another kill. Happy to do it. It's going to be Mir trying to burn them down. Kled on that close range damage. Now dismounted. Pulls out the pocket pistol. But it's not enough. 4 still alive here for Ben Davis as they rotate back in to take this Baron.
Now you can look at it. I mean, me above all could TP in, but you got 4 members here to take it. I'm a little bit worried about the HP bars. Joey is a little bit squishy here, so I think he can land a nice spear or maybe a Requiem to come in, but Requiem is still down. No chance, no dice. Doctor, though, might have something to say.
Maybe try and land against Spray and Pray. At that point, Spray and Pray is now gone. Objective bounty is there, 1500 HP. Got to smite it good, and that is it. Blue team will get it. Ben Davis gets theirs, and another public execution lands. Another good lacerate, and another double kill for the Ambessa.
Cutting through the opponents here, and I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. Really, really well done coming out of Joey. And Joey now recalling in 3.5 items deep. At this point, I think he is actually going to complete the rest of that 4th. I want to double check, but they might be out of gold. I mean, they are way far ahead of just about anyone else in this game, and is going to continue to do so. At 13-0-5, you can take anyone. I mean, you're what, maybe half a level off of level 16? You're going to be a menace no matter where you go.
And the problem is, that Menace has an ultimate that if it lands on any one of your backline, the fight is already over, discrediting the 13,000 gold lead they've built up. And now with the Baron push, you get those empowered minions, more tankier, more damage from the cannon minion, and they are sieging.
This siege, I think, with a 3-1-1, it might not be bad. It looks like it's going to be more of a 4-1. You can see the Yi on the top side with Mimic joining up the mid. I don't disagree with this one. I am actually okay with it quite a bit. Now, will it be enough? There was a question.
Oh, a single touch there from the mid laner in Brand. Joey goes legendary and slices the entire backline. They disappear like a good magic trick. The 1v1 continues up top, but the base is falling apart. The Kled is the only one that can hold the door shut.
And the doors are being shut on the top side of the map. It feels like Cho'Gath should have been joining in with the rest of the team in the mid. Cho's up on the top side. I don't disagree with it, but I do feel like you left your base a little bit more wide open. Joey and the rest say, thank you for that mistake. We will absolutely take advantage.
Rocket Pistol connects. Remount is there. Alpha Strike goes in and a back off towards the turret. He above all will continue the 1v1. Ice King tries to delay him. Cannon minion still active. Jumping in is Joey. Slicing with the lacerate. Another knockup goes in. Myrrh will take the first. Public execution misses. And Joey will not go out of this game without dying. It's a nice Alpha Strike on top of him. Me above all will survive the turret shot, but not the second. It is objective bounties. It is bounties on their heads given over all across the board.
I mean, huge dub in terms of Ben Davis breaking base, but I agree, the gold is actually hitting back, but can they survive to sell it and spend it?
Pokemon will help out, and it's actually a support kill. Oh man, the Braum is 4-0-9. 4 kills from the support here. Ice King's gonna jump in, a good set of early damage as the Fire Pillar trying to burn things through. Nice little flame damage, and the long range burn is good. Doctor just wins it. Gets in, sprays for the prey, and no! Are you kidding me? A Fett supportive kill!
Hurts to watch as Bakoyo might be looking to try and finish here. I think Ice King can be able to save him though.
I was gonna say, if a support wins it all, deserves the greatest coverage we have ever seen. It is just going to be minions breaking down that bot side turret, and Pokeyo will be finished off. Now, this timing isn't negligible. Mountain Drake, Mountain Soul is up.
I think that's what they're going to look at. But remember, all you need is really one person be there. It's an easy take by Joey. And guess what? You said it before. The Mountain Soul to play for is here once again, meaning you can go a little bit more offensive if you wish. You can just be a bully, and I think that's what Joey's going to look to be.
There's nobody that can even get close. They're going to send the Master Yi and me above all just straight to send into a 1v3. Not necessarily ideal, but we'll try and play some defense. Mountain Drake is gone. Mountain Soul is there. Ice King is dead. And it's a 1v1 and a 1-4-1 there. But now Joey's here. The level 15 monstrosity lands the ultimate on Doctor, and they disappear before their eyes. Next up is the jungler. Mango has no turrets except the base laser beam to go back to. A nice root, a nice takedown, and Kled's got him down. Requiem is there, and they can go for the chase down. Mir and Pokemon Geek cannot stick around.
I mean, that's a blow and a half, but guess what? Pokemon Geek is starting to say, dude, I'm 10, 2, and 12 as well. I got some damage if you're not careful. I will burn you away very, very quickly. Look at the bounce right there. Toast has to walk away. And you built in these boots. There's so much extra value to play with right now. Ben Davis, they do not care. It's another Poke-Catch.
Really good fire pillar, really good chunk, and there goes my toast stolen. Mango Friend is just dying to the Leandries and the Brand Burn combined. It's a double kill from the mid laner, and all of a sudden, it's a takedown of 2. How much can this Kled surely do? On the defense, you feel it's just a 3v3 right now without the Master Yi there, and Dark just burns down as well. Incredible follow-up damage, incredible kills. It is 43 kills in this game for Ben Davis. Ice King flashes out to stay alive. The turret is back alive, and all 4 ready to assault the base.
I mean, at this point, I think it's almost done. Shogath is going to try their best to hold, but I don't think they can.
Demounted, no more life to play for, but my toast stolen is back alive. They are just feeding kills at the moment, and it is a triple kill from me above all to put the cherry on top of a 2-0 sweep. The turret revives. They'll get the ace, but they'll have to wait just a little bit longer to get the finish. There it is. Ben Davis, cleaner from game number 2. They walk away with the brooms.
Very, very well done. We did say for Ben Davis, they look like a strong squad. They look like they knew what they were doing. A couple hiccups in game number 1, but in game 2 here, they have really solidified themselves as a multi-dimensional threat here. Top side, for me above all, looked okay at the beginning and then kind of got a little bit cheeky with it. The Master Yi didn't really work out. Joey, though, consistently a powerhouse throughout the entirety of that match. And then Pokemon Geek at the very end showed up with that foundational brand pickup. Consistent damage output. Really well done.
I like that we got to see kind of a back and forth from that top lane. That was really entertaining to watch all throughout the game. But realistically, again, we talked about it. For Ben Davis, where they were in every single one of their lanes, they were winning by CS. They were getting to items first, and even though the Kled was a little bit slower to start off, just wasn't able to get going enough towards the end of those team fights, even for the success they had in towards the middle of the game. And you know, for HHS, definitely a tough opponent. You talk about Ben Davis, it being only their 2nd week of regular season play, they have some really high-ranked players that led the charge through this match.
Yeah, I think for the side of HHS, you just kind of go back to the drawing board. Some good ideas in there. Others might be taking a look at the matchup differences and recognizing, you know, this is what our players like to play. We might need to hide these champions until later, you know, figure out exactly how to play around that. And that's just part of the learning process. That's part of the process of figuring out how to play the game, how you need to play as a team. And I do expect them to be able to bounce back and to figure out how they want to play moving into the post.
I mean, there's still a lot of the regular season left to go, and obviously for a lot of these teams, it isn't just about one season or one game, obviously building up towards the future for themselves. And I think Ben Davis looking really, really strong. Obviously, their record is now 1-1, which doesn't quite prove what they can do quite yet. I'm surprised to see who actually beat this team. It just proves the talent we've got here at IEN.
Yeah, I hope to see more about these squads in the future. I know we will, knowing that the playoffs are going to be around the corner very soon, faster than I think a lot of the players are expecting. So I'm excited to see how much further they can go. And if this is a squad that we're looking for a potential, you know, 3rd or 2nd place finish.
I mean, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome to see how much they can improve, and part of that improvement is because of our sponsors. We wouldn't be able to run IEN without our amazing sponsors here, and one of them being LandFest. This broadcast is part of LandFest's Scholastic Esports program, a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LandFest has delivered 300 broadcasts to Scholastic leagues in Washington and Indiana. We provide these broadcasts free of charge to the leagues, schools, and teams we cover. But your generous donations at home make this possible. Every $200 raised covers the operating costs for one regular season broadcast. If you appreciate our work, please scan the QR code and donate today.
Yeah, we do appreciate that so much. And then again, if you're looking to maybe get started in esports yourself, take a look at League OS. League OS is a portal for those that are looking to enter into the collegiate space through the Scholastic portal. League OS has something for everyone, whether you're a student, whether you're a little bit extra on the side, not just a competitor, but maybe a caster like us, or production side as well. You can list all of your talents, because I know right now collegiate scouts are currently looking through and figuring out who is going to be their next rising star. You can also take a look, because right now it is free to sign up if you are a scholastic entrepreneur, as well as factoring into anyone that is playing in any of the Land Fest or Esports Indiana current season. So make sure to go ahead and get signed up, get your profile started. Maybe you get scouted upon your next match. It also keeps track of all those stats, so you don't have to go through and figure those out yourself.
Yeah, you can go to portal.leagueos.gg and get your account set up today. I mean, you can't be discovered if you're not making a profile, and that is the number one thing. You could be the best player in the world, but if you're living under a rock like Patrick Starr, no one is going to hire you or get you on their collegiate esports team. But I mean, Orbital, what a day it has been today. An incredible series of League of Legends. Any final thoughts you've got?
No, just I hope to see teams and players continuously improving throughout the season in the spring.
It's exciting to see the players rapidly improve, and we'll be back next week with more of that Indiana esports content and with our Washington schools as well. A huge shout out to our production team, Mo Bugman and Console Lee, as the production and camera people back there. For myself, Llama77, for Orbital up here in the booth, we say goodbye and good night from IEN. Have a good one.
Thank you.